Question.
Answer.
Is New Year's Eve the biggest drinking holiday?
No.
No? Would you say St. Patrick's Day? St. Patrick's Day?
The biggest drinking holiday, I do believe, is Wild Turkey Wednesday.
Really?
I think so.
What?
Yep.
Oh, because some people have to work New Year's Day. But it's a federal holiday, just like Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, New Year's Day is. Not New Year's Eve.
Really?
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. But Wild Turkey Wednesday, I do believe, is the biggest drinking holiday.
Huh.
Followed by it's either New Year's Eve or St. Patrick's Day, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why in the U.S., I think, well, I don't know. Obviously, St. Patrick's Day is huge in Ireland.
Uh-huh.
In the U.S., it's big among colleges.
Uh-huh.
But, like, as far as just everybody getting drunk, I feel like that's
Everybody getting
I feel like New Year's Eve tops St. Patty's.
Wow.
What?
Oh, wait. That's because Wild Turkey Wednesday isn't.
It's not a holiday.
Yeah. Okay, well. The average. Okay. Alcohol.org.
Yes.
The booziest holidays.
Yeah.
So, Wild Turkey Wednesday, I do believe, would be first, but it's not a national holiday. So, first is Mardi Gras. At 4.5, the average number of drinks consumed is 4.5.
I couldn't even tell you what month that is. Mardi Gras. Is it March?
I think is it May 5th?
I don't know. No. That's
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, yeah.
Mardi Gras is somewhere right around there.
Okay. That's like a Louisiana thing.
It's very like New Orleans.
Yeah.
Second is New Year's Eve at 4.4 average drinks consumed.
Now, is that like per American? Like they taken drinks consumed divided by the population of America? I wonder. Because if I don't know anybody who celebrates Mardi Gras, and if they're drinking that much down in Louisiana to like make up for, say, I drank 4.5 drinks, that's damn impressive.
On average, Americans consumed 4.5 drinks on this day.
Maybe it's
so
only people.
That's everybody of age.
Okay. Damn.
Third, St. Patty's Day at 4.2. 4th of July, 3.8. But the holiday most associated with men drinking alcohol is St. Patty's Day at 36%. Meanwhile, the holiday women most associate with alcohol was New Year's Eve at 44%.
They all want that New Year's Eve kiss.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, if you guys are drinking, we hope you're staying safe, but you're having a great time.
Oh, yeah, always having a great time.
Always having a great time because this will be released on New Year's Eve. So we thank you guys for watching and listening because we got episode 64 here for you.
Haven't seen you guys since last year.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was terrible.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, it did have to be said, of course. It's episode 64. I am here with Carson Kropp. Two-man show here. It's Monday, December 30th at the time of this recording. This is Last Stop Sports Talk, the podcast, the YouTube channel. We do it all here. We're going to start it off with our NFL New Year's resolutions. We're going to discuss plans that certain teams should need to put into place to better themselves for years to come. Like how people make New Year's resolutions. Like, I'm going to go start going to the gym. And then by 2 weeks in, they stop going to the gym and they're not any better people. But we're trying to make these teams better. And then we're going to wrap it up with our college football playoff round 2 and NFL week 18 preview. So we're going to head straight into NFL New Year's resolutions. So every team, they make mistakes. But some teams have made franchise-changing mistakes that need some serious fixing. So let's discuss some plans that certain teams need to put into place and then stick to, not just bail on it, to better themselves for years to come. For example, let me give you guys an example of what we're talking about here. The Ravens last year, flashback to last year's AFC Championship game. They, for some reason, have the best running quarterback of all time now, statistically, in Lamar Jackson. And they refused to run the ball last year. And they ended up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in a game where the Ravens should have ran the ball. Lamar Jackson, I remember clearly that he would scramble out of the pocket, and for some reason he just kept his eyes looking downfield whenever there was wide open space in front of him.
Run the ball, Lamar.
Run the ball. So the Ravens' New Year's resolution is that we need to run the ball in big moments because it's so clearly the best part of their team. While, yes, Lamar has looked great passing the ball, there are still they still need to run the ball. So that's an example of what we have here. Do you have any off the top of the head, or you want me to go
so
first?
you said these teams have made franchise-changing mistakes and need some serious fixing.
Yeah.
Some of these franchise-changing mistakes are so big that you're better off just working around them because you can't fix them.
Yeah.
For example, the Panthers traded Darnell Wright.
Yep.
Well, the pick that eventually turned into Darnell Wright, pick that turned into Tyreek Stevenson, pick that turned into Caleb Williams, their 2025 second-round pick, and DJ Moore for a singular guy at the height of 5'10", Bryce Young.
That's listed. It's probably very untrue.
Yeah, I'm sure it's below that.
Yeah.
So the Panthers' New Year's resolution
there you go. Yep.
needs to be, we got to get a shorter O-line in here. Our poor quarterback can't even see the line. How's he supposed to make these throws if he can't see his receivers? You know what I'm saying? This poor guy always has to run out of the pocket, and he's so great throwing on the run. That's what he has to do because he can't see over his damn O-line. He's like 6'4", 6'5" in front of him. Can you imagine being 5'8.5" and trying to look over these giants? He's like doing this around, trying to look around his O-line, and then try to make an accurate throw. His release point has to be way up here just to get above his guys' helmets.
No side arming done by Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, if his line was like 5'9" or something, so he would feel like Josh Allen then. Just imagine what you could do in the pocket. He would be dangerous.
Yeah? Yeah, they need some Michael Pierce built guys.
Yeah.
6 foot, 350 pounds.
Yeah, let's get a shorter line, Panthers. Come on.
I like that one a lot.
Thank you.
I'll start out with the Browns because we all know the Browns have been bad for years. So what do they need to do differently? Everything. It's pretty vague, but I mean, you can definitely see where I'm coming from. I don't think that Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. Deshaun Watson has proved that he's not a good quarterback. So you have no quarterback. Nick Chubb, we don't know what he's going to look. He didn't look great coming off his season-ending knee injury from last year. I can't imagine he's going to look great coming off a season-ending broken foot. Your best wide receiver is Jerry Jeudy. David Njoku's pretty solid for a tight end. So that's one good position in your offensive skill positions. The offense makers, if you will. And then the defense, they're paying a ton of money just for them to play poorly. So basically, whatever the Browns have done to get themselves to this point, that being pay a quarterback a fully guaranteed deal, the worst deal in NFL history, don't do that. Get a young running back, one who doesn't have back-to-back season-ending injuries. Get some wide receivers who are not just the guys. Shout out to Steve Smith Sr. who said that about Jerry Jeudy.
He's right.
Who's now a Hall of Fame. He's a nomination for the Hall of Fame. Steve Smith Sr. Shout out to him. And just do everything differently. You need if you're you're strictly going for carbs. Like you're eating a ton of spaghetti in your life. It's like stop eating carbs altogether. Just stop. Go protein or something. Do anything. If you used to piss sitting down, you better stand up to piss now. Sell your car. Total it on purpose just so you can get some insurance money. Like you drive a minivan, you better be buying a big lifted truck now.
Yeah.
It's all bad for the Browns, and they can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Jets.
Yeah.
They're down in the dumps right now.
Yeah.
If you would look at this New York City at the start of the season, you would think that the Giants would be the laughing stock of the league. Joke's on everybody. The Jets are the laughing stock of New York, and the Giants are the ones that are falling out there in New York. So the Jets' New Year's resolution needs to be just give it up.
Yeah.
That's kind of simple like yours.
Yeah.
They just need to give it up.
Yeah.
They're chasing too hard. They need to let it come to them. They chase Aaron Rodgers, and what'd he do? He's like a pesticide. Parasite.
Yeah.
Not pesticide. He's a parasite inside this organization. He got their Mike Tomlin type head coach fired. That's going to always get him a 500 season with a great defense.
Yeah.
He wasted all their money bringing in Devontae Adams. And,
old friends.
Yeah, old friends that he had to have. He's like, Aaron Rodgers is as the girls say, toxic friend in this relationship. Aaron Rodgers is so toxic for the Jets right now. He's trying to make everybody believe that it's everybody's problem except for his, when he just needs to own up and say, yeah, I need to play better. He needs to look in the mirror. That's what a real leader would do. And they just need to give up the dream of winning a Super Bowl right now because they've blown that chance right now.
Yeah.
They've blown that chance this year.
They're not in a position to compete, and they need to take a look in the mirror, like you said.
Yeah.
All right. You want to do – I'll do one more, and we'll call it good.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, I got a good one. Because another team that also just needs to look in the mirror is the Titans. They came into the season looking that they thought they were going to compete. They also expected a Texans sophomore slump. Mm-hmm. It's just that there was no Titans hump, if you will. They didn't go up. So the New Year's resolution for the Titans is to stop eating so much mayo.
Oh, yeah.
The Will Levis experiment is over. As much as I love those Mayo Game Day Be Delicious commercials, he's not good at quarterbacking. I would love to see him like in the acting world, incorporating mayo into everything that he does. But the Titans, the Will Levis train is over. Mason Rudolph isn't the answer. If you want to try to keep everybody together for one more year and then bring a quarterback in there, then we can talk. Because Tony Pollard's been good.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard's had a career year and actually been the lead back and hasn't needed Ezekiel Elliott in front of him to stay efficient. Tony Pollard has been that guy, and they do have some names at wide receiver. And Chigo Okonkwo, I believe, is a very athletic, very good receiving tight end. He's came on. They have probably the best offensive line coach in the league, and they got Travondre Sweat on the defensive line. What more do you need? That's a big boy.
He's 1.5 guys.
Yeah, he could eat a lot of mayo.
They could be flagged for 11.5 men on the field every play.
At 370 pounds, yeah, I think you're right. But just it's time to turn the page and maybe try to keep it together. Just stop eating mayo, though. Mm-hmm. Go to mustard or something. But now let's go right into our college football playoff round 2 and NFL Week 18 preview. First, we're going to go into some news before we get into this week because we're going to start off with a big one here. Georgia quarterback Carson Beck suffered a torn UCL in his throwing elbow and will miss the entirety of the college football playoff, leaving Georgia with their number 2 quarterback, a sophomore, and I can't even remember his name, and that's really bad preparation by my part. But this is the same injury that Brock Purdy had in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. He was passing the ball.
Gunnar Stockton.
Brock Purdy was passing the ball, wound up to sling it down the field, and he got caught right here. And a guy pulled his arm back and pushed it back like that, snapped the ligament that makes your arm go snap forward like that. So if you lose that, you have no more snap. You just got a flaccid arm. Nobody likes flaccid, especially whenever it comes to anything.
You gotta be able to get it up in the big game.
Yeah.
If he can't get it up, then he's not going to perform.
And you know that if you go left-handed, the grip's just not going to be right.
Yeah, right.
It's just you don't have the correct speed or motion, or it's all messed up. But there were some NFL injuries suffered in week 16 or 17 since the last time we saw you. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffered a hip injury, and it's sounding like he's going to miss week 18 too.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that serious.
Neither did I. I mean, I saw a quote from Mike McDaniel. He's talking about Tua suffered a hip injury in college, and McDaniel's saying that this is unrelated, but it could be coach speak because he said that basically if Tua's hip gets hit like in any fashion right now, it could get like a ton worse. So they're like he's got a glass hip right now, and it's sounding like he's not gonna be playing this week. So it's gonna be another Snoop Huntley start. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, he suffered a concussion. He missed last week, actually. I don't really know. They might be sitting players anyways. This week's kind of tough as to know who's going to be playing, who's not. But a guy who does sound like he's going to be playing is Bengals running back Chase Brown. He suffered an ankle injury sliding down at the 1 to try to drown out the clock and win that game against the Broncos. Vikings running back Aaron Jones, he just can't stay healthy this year, like all year. He's
old.
Yeah, he's old. Suffered a quad injury in this one. He's probably going to play at least half the snaps next week, honestly, because he seems to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III suffered an ankle injury, and he went on IR. He's going to miss the rest of the year. And Cardinals running back James Conner, another guy who's actually surprisingly stayed healthy this year.
Yeah.
Up until these past 2 weeks, suffered a knee injury and then kind of re-aggravated it. It was very questionable going into last week's game. Re-aggravated it mid-game. They kept showing him over there sitting on the Gatorade cooler and stretching his knee, just going like, I don't know if I can do it, coach.
Yeah.
They kept showing that all game long. a sad one here for any kind of Panthers believer. It's been fun to see them go on this run, and a big part of it has been running back Chuba Hubbard. He suffered an ankle injury, went on IR. I don't think it's anything super serious. It's just that there's 1 week left in the season, and he should be back by the beginning of next season, and he'll be the starting running back. He's been great this year. Just signed a big contract. Good for Chuba. Well, this isn't good for Chuba, but badly timed.
This is not good for Chuba.
No. Raiders running back Big Cock Amir Abdullah suffered a foot injury, probably from twisting his ankle. He's stepping on his wiener after he ran for 115 yards. But basically the only good running back that the Raiders have had all year.
Yeah. He has been the lone bright spot.
Yeah, so he might miss this game. Dolphins left tackle Teron Armstead, another guy who just cannot stay healthy in his old age, suffered a knee injury. He's probably going to miss this game. Another guy, I think, who has a chance at playing this week is Bengals right tackle Amarius Mims, suffered a knee injury. I don't know. It's up in the air. Either way, the Bengals offensive line is struggling no matter who's in there. 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw suffered a calf injury. I did not look up to see if it's the same calf that his repaired Achilles is attached to, but he's out for this last game as well. Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner has been battling a hamstring injury for the past couple of weeks. He left this game again in the past week. Buccaneers cornerback Jamel Dean suffered a knee injury. He's been really steady this year. Always a solid contributor on this Buccaneers defense. Commanders cornerback Marshawn Lattimore had to actually miss last game with a hamstring injury. Didn't matter. They still won. But he's a number one corner that they could be without.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. This guy hasn't played all year. Since he's came to the Commanders, since they traded for him, I think he's played like 1 of 6 games or something. Mm-hmm. So at this point, why not make it 1 of 7? You're not expected to be out there. So I
think he got torched in that game too.
Yeah, just get healthy. Yeah, because they were playing. I think. I thought they were playing the Bucs, but I don't think that's right.
They're very possibly.
Okay, they might have been playing the Bucs. I think he was going against Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, he used to dominate Mike Evans. Now it's like their roles have shifted. So
yeah,
just get healthy for playoffs and just don't worry about it, Marshawn. You'll be all right.
Yeah. And then Chargers safety Elijah Molden suffered a broken fibula, the same injury that Tank Dell suffered at the end of the last season. He's been very good for them this year, and it looks like they're going to be without him for the rest of the season, including the playoffs. And as I said last episode, the Titans are kind of dumb right now. They don't know what to do. So both quarterbacks, Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, are going to play in the Titans Week 18 game against the Texans, according to the head coach. And Levis had previously been benched, I think, 2, maybe 3 times this year in favor of Rudolph. But now Mason Rudolph, they're kind of seeing it's like, yeah, he's meh.
Yeah.
So we're going to put Levis out there who turns meh into mayo.
Oh, mayo.
Yeah. The contract for Mike Vrabel, who was assisting with the Browns coaching staff, has expired for some reason before Week 18. I don't know there must have been like a day limit on that or something. But this allows him to freely interview for any head coach opening, per NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. And also another guy who is looking for head coach openings is Ron Rivera, a former head coach in Carolina and Washington. He's scheduled to interview for New York's head coaching vacancy this week. That is the New York Jets. Because for some reason,
he would be perfect for that team, honestly.
It would be. All right, let's talk about how we fared in Week 16 because we didn't get our picks in time for Week 17, so I'm not going to include it and just confuse the heck out of the season standings. But in Week 16, all of us went 10-10 except for Jared, who went 8-12. Yeah. It was a very, very tough week for all of us, but at least we finished 500, the most of us. On the season, after Week 17, Jared is still in first place, 127 and 103. Cletus in second at 155 and 133. I'm in third at 151 and 137. Cody in fourth at 150 and 138. And Carson, you're in fifth at 141 and 147.
Almost back up to 500.
Which is honestly a very impressive
thing. It is.
The
second half of the season, I got to be so positive right now.
Yeah, seriously, because I
was down bad.
Yeah, you were down like 25 games under 500 or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy. What a crazy comeback. Can he get it back to 500? That'd be a victory for the season.
Yeah, sure would be.
All right. Started off with the Fiesta Bowl. This one is Tonight at the time of this is uploaded, it's December 31st.
Yep.
New Year's Eve, Fiesta Bowl in Arizona, I want to say. Number 6, Penn State is going up against number 3, Boise State. Penn State is favored by 11.5. Carson, what do you think?
Give me Penn State with the 12-point lead. I think that Boise State is too one-dimensional. They just rely on Ashton Genty. And I think Penn State's a nice, well-rounded team. They have a great defense. Abdul Carter's probably going to be a top 10 pick, maybe top 5 pick. Tyler Warren's Drew Aller's go-to guy, and they've finally figured out how to make that offense go with the passing game, and that's just rely on Tyler Warren. And they have 2 great backs as well, and I think that they're going to shut down this Boise State running game enough to win by more than 12 points, even though I did see that Ashton Genty, 2+ touchdowns, is only plus 165.
Oh, my
which is
goodness.
insane, but I think that Boise is not as well prepared as they should be for a defense like this. They're more used to,
Mountain West defenses.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that Boise State is the worst of these top 4 seeds. Honestly, obviously it's all on Ashton Genty, Heisman runner-up, but I think that they keep it close. I don't necessarily think that Boise State wins this game. I actually think that Penn State does win this game, but I think that 11.5 points is too many here. Ashton Genty is already an NFL caliber running back, and I think that he has proven it no matter who he's gone up against. Like, yes, he's gone up against inferior competition compared to Penn State. He did go up against Oregon once, and they lost that game by 3 in week 2. But I think that Ashton Genty is going to do enough. He's going to get his yards. He's going to get his touchdowns. It's just kind of, can you plaster their defense, which I think Penn State can, but Ashton Genty is going to keep it close enough, I believe. Which brings us to the Peach Bowl, where number 5, Texas, goes up against number 4, Arizona State. Texas is favored by 12.5 points. We're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, I've been riding Arizona State all year, honestly, and it seems like they always work out for me. So I'm going to do that again. But the main thing here with Texas is I just don't like whatever's going on with this team right now. I don't like the awkward situation in the quarterback room where it's like people think that Arch Manning's better and he should be starting, and Quinn Ewers continues to underwhelm, and he kind of like crumples under pressure, it seems. But they do always seem to get the job done, but I think that Arizona State's going to keep it close enough to win if they had a 12.5 point advantage.
I think Arizona State wins this game outright.
Really?
Arizona State is the hottest team in college football right now. I mean, Oregon hasn't lost a game, so I guess you could say they're the hottest. But like, as far as playing with fire, playing with intensity, their coach of Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham, I want to say his name is, he's got these boys fired up. He's like 34 years old. He's not that much older than them, and Cam Scadaboo is rising his draft stock seemingly every single day.
That's how a white man runs the football.
That's how a white man runs the football. And their quarterback, I mean, they are kind of similar to Boise State, except Arizona State has a better defense. I think their quarterback is even better, Sam Levitt. And I just have belief in this team because they are playing with so much juice right now that I think they even come back and win this game against a Texas team that, they're basically every time Quinn Ewers throws an incomplete pass, they're like, Arch, come on.
Yeah. It's just an awkward quarterback room right now.
It is. In the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, we got number 8 Ohio State favored by 2.5 in a rematch going up against the Oregon Ducks. We're both on the Oregon Ducks here.
Yeah, Ohio State, I think we can probably both agree, definitely has more talent on their team.
Yep.
They have a loaded wide receiver room right now, and Will Howard for whatever he's worth. But I think the Oregon is going to outsmart them and get the job done here. They're going to get outcoached. Ryan Day is kind of under fire right now for the coaching or lack of coaching that he's doing right now. And
Ohio State fans want him gone.
Yeah.
They're probably almost, I mean, they don't want to lose this game, obviously, but if they do lose, they want to see Ryan Day gone.
Yeah, nobody likes Ryan Day right now.
No.
And I think that Oregon's going to come out on top because Ohio State's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? They're like fighting against each other, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not, their locker room is not united.
Yeah, if you're not behind your coach, then who's your leader?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that, I know it's tough to beat the same team twice in one season, especially a team of this caliber in Ohio State, because they are more talented on both sides of the ball than this Oregon team. No doubt about that. As an Oregon fan, I'm going to admit that. But Oregon's too damn fast, man. They're too damn fast.
Tez Johnson, my guy.
Tez Johnson, last game, it was all Tez Johnson, Jordan James, Dylan Gabriel making big plays whenever they played Ohio State last and won that game by 3. But they didn't even show Ohio State Evan Stewart, who's a guy who's just like Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
So like they've seen the speed of almost all their playmakers. They didn't even have to use the other one guy last time though. So I think that Dan Lanning is just a better coach. He's gonna have these boys ready, fired up. Some of the best pregame speeches I've ever seen come from Dan Lanning. He's great. I'm excited for this game, though. Moving on to the Sugar Bowl, number 7 Notre Dame goes up against number 2 Georgia with a backup quarterback. Georgia's still favored by 1.5 points, and we're still riding with Georgia.
I think the backup quarterback is a blessing in disguise for Georgia.
Oh,
Carson Beck has not been good this year.
Yeah.
And
looks sketchy as hell.
Yeah, he looks like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Looks like he's all jacked up on cocaine.
Yeah.
And now the Notre Dame team has next to no film to watch on Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah.
And Gunnar Stockton is a dog. Let me tell you a little something.
Let's hear it.
So Gunnar Stockton still drives his grandfather's Tandem Age 1985 Ford F-150.
Hell yeah.
So he's an avid outdoorsman, and he helps raise 14 cows back home in Tiger, a small town at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
I couldn't even tell you where the Blue Ridge Mountains are.
It runs along the East Coast. He's from Georgia. He grew up in Northeast Georgia, so this is like his childhood team. He showed last game that he can get the job done, and I think he will get the job done here because he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school actually as well, but he got masked by the Cade Klubniks and the Drew Owlers of the class, so he wasn't focused on it, but now he's finally getting his moment, and I think he's going to shine in it.
Yeah, I'm actually right with you there. This isn't really that I believe in what Georgia is cooking here, especially with a backup quarterback, because that is kind of scary, and they're favored here. But this game is in Louisiana, closer to Georgia than it is Notre Dame, and Riley Leonard, I just feel like this guy is going to implode sometime. He is Josh Allen, but makes even more mistakes. Not the greatest at throwing the ball. He's like a young Josh Allen. He's not the greatest at throwing the ball right now as far as consistently. He can still run the ball, though, and he's 6'5" and can truck right through you. But there are times where Riley Leonard just goes on a turnover tear, and I feel like it's going to come against this Georgia defense that seemingly sends like 5 guys to the NFL like every single year, it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just give us the backup quarterback in Gunnar Stockton. This week, we're going to go into the NFL games of Week 18. Don't bet in Week 18 unless you're betting on contract incentives.
Oh, Zach Ertz just got his last night.
Yeah, he did. $750,000, yeah. But our boy, Khalif Raymond, won us all a ton of money like 2 years ago because it was Week 18. The Lions weren't going to make the playoffs. There was that game against the Packers where they knocked out Aaron Rodgers in his last game for them. And yeah, they were just feeding Khalif Raymond so that he could get his contract incentives and win some money. But it's tough. These games are really tough to pick. So the spreads are all crazy. We don't know who's sitting, who's playing. So anyways, here we go. We're going to try to give the best analysis that we can. But Browns are at the Ravens here, 17.5. The Ravens are favored because they still are planning to play their starters, everything that I've heard, I believe, because they basically, if the Ravens lose, Steelers win, I think that makes it dicier. I don't know what the official tiebreaker is. There's so many tiebreakers everywhere now. They're so hard to keep track of. But we're both on the Ravens here.
We just saw what they can do to the Texans, 33-2, and that's the Texans who I would like to think are better than the Browns. So it is a division game, so it could be closer, but the Browns continue to roll with DTR.
Oh, it's terrible.
Give me 25 points, and I'm still taking the Ravens with DTR.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can't trust DTR. They love that guy, but nobody else does.
No.
It's going to be a slugfest in the Ravens' favor for sure.
It's sad to watch, really.
It is sad to watch. So that's a Saturday game. That's Saturday at 4:05, I want to say. But anyways, the 8 o'clock game. 8 p.m. start. The Bengals are at the Steelers. We're actually gonna go and tailgate this game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy one. It's gonna be cold. Yeah, Bengals favored by 2.5 points at Pittsburgh. Carson, you're going with the Bengals here, the favorite.
I am, yeah. The Steelers need to right the ship, like they were saying. I think the Steelers are going to be desperate for a win. But who's really desperate for a win here is Joe Burrow and the Bengals getting in the playoffs. And we've seen what Joe Burrow does when he's desperate to get into the playoffs. He just dogs on teams no matter how good their defense is. And I think he's going to get the job done here to try to force his way into the playoffs. I don't think I see they're favored by 2.5 points, but I think they're going to win by 3 or more.
Yeah, I can see your point of view there. Nobody procrastinates, as in does better work late in the season. God bless you.
Thank you.
Nobody procrastinates better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to do shit beginning of the year, and then he just turns it on.
Yep.
Whenever the lights are brightest. And Jamar Chase also sat out all offseason, if we remember correctly.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't want this guy to ever practice again.
Oh, yeah, please.
This guy needs to sit out all the time. He sat out his final season at LSU, and then he just went straight to the draft, and he had an amazing rookie season. Sat out this past season because he was upset about his contract situation. Now he's going to be the offensive player of the year. All that being said, I'm going with the Steelers. I just can't stop picturing Week 18, Steelers are down bad, backs against the wall against a good team. This feels like a game where it's close in the fourth quarter, Renegade plays, it's cold, and TJ Watt and company just wreak havoc on Joe Burrow and kind of put the Bengals in their place. I just kind of see that happening. I think it's going to be a close one, though. It's going to be a great game that we have in store here. Next up, the first Sunday game, Panthers at the Falcons. Falcons are favored by 7.5 points after the Panthers just got blown out last week. But we're still going Panthers here.
Yeah, I'm going Panthers here. I think Bryce Young is going to continue this revenge that he's on right now after he got benched for Andy Dalton. And I think that he's going to stand on his tippy toes in the pocket, see that line a little better, and he's going to deliver the ball. Meanwhile, Michael Penix continues to learn this offense. But I think Bryce Young's going to keep it within 8 points. So
I agree with you there. I don't necessarily think the Panthers are going to win, but I think it's going to be a close one. I think that we see a better game than what he put up there against the Buccaneers. I think this Falcons defense is kind of reeling a little bit. And Bryce Young, he knows that he needs a good game to keep in the good graces of this coaching staff and this front office to end out the season because recency bias is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. And I think that he does have a great game here. Maybe not great, but a good game here to keep in the good graces of this team. Takes us to our next game. The Commanders, favored by 3.5 points, are going to Dallas in Jerry World. But we're both going with the Commanders here.
I don't understand why the spread's so small here.
I don't know.
The Commanders are, I believe, 11-5 against the spread this year. So give me the Commanders again, without a doubt. Jaden Daniels in this offense is rolling right now. The defense is starting to show up at the right time. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are going the other way. They just lost 41-7 last week, I do believe.
Yeah.
They're cold, and I don't think that they're going to be able to keep it within 4 points. So
I agree with you. Commanders are hot, back-to-back overtime victories.
Yeah.
And shootouts, close ones, where Jaden Daniels had to put the team on his back. Yeah, they're going to keep riding hot. You can't stop Jaden Daniels right now. Mm-hmm. Fun football to watch. This one probably isn't going to be too much fun. It's the Bears against the Packers. Packers are favored by 10 in Green Bay. You want Packers here.
They still have something to play for, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, this is another division game, and I think the Packers are going to continue to own the Bears. Caleb Williams showed last week that he's not hot right now. And even if he doesn't turn the ball over, he gets sacked a lot. And I think the Packers, they didn't play well last week either, but I think that this is where they right the ship and prepare themselves for playoffs.
Yeah, much like I said, Bryce Young needs a good game to kind of stay in the good graces. I think that Caleb Williams, he feels that he needs a good game too. I don't think the Bears are going to win this game by any stretch. I think Packers win this game, but I think that this is only a 7-point victory, I want to say, for the Packers. I think this game is closer. The Bears want to have something positive to build on going into the offseason after a lost season where they thought that they were going to maybe even be a wild card team. So I think they're going to come out fighting hard. They're tired of the Packers' own the Bears claims, even though it's true. But I think that this game stays closer than 10 points. Texans at the Titans. Titans are favored by 4.5 points. That must mean that the Texans are going to sit their starters, but doesn't matter, does it?
No, yeah. I think that this is going to be the most boring game of the week.
Probably.
Davis Mills.
Yeah. He can cook. I mean, not cook,
he can
he can make it simmer a little bit.
Actually, it could be more entertaining just because you never know which quarterback the Titans are going to have.
That's true.
Give me the Titans.
Oh,
I'm taking the Titans here.
switching.
The Texans do not know who to game plan for because even the Titans don't know who they're going to play here. So give me the Titans are going to ride the hot hand at quarterback, and Davis Mills is going to not be good. I think Tony. Well, I don't know if they are going to play Tony Pollard.
Probably. They don't have anything to lose.
I wouldn't be surprised if they sit him.
He's probably injured still.
I think their run game's going to be good enough. Derrick Henry just ran all over him. He's not that good, so. I'm kidding. He's great. But, yeah, I think the Titans can win here by 5 points.
I'm going to ride with the Texans. I think that the Texans and this abomination of a franchise, the Titans, I think that just better run franchise beats poorly run franchise. And, our backups are going to come in there and beat you. And I think that Davis Mills is a competent enough quarterback to go toe-to-toe with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. We got one hell of a matchup of quarterbacks here.
I'm sure they would love to have a guy like Malik Willis right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, give me the Texans to keep it close at least. The Jaguars are in Indianapolis in the Loud House to take on the Colts, who are favored by 5.5 points.
My second least favorite game of the week.
Yeah. It's just this division.
Yeah, it really
the
is.
AFC South.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Give me the Jags, though. I think they feed Brian Thomas enough, and is Joe Flacco starting in for the Colts?
Anthony Richardson is going to be starting if he's healthy enough. Last week he was out with back spasms. He needs a good massage.
Perfect. Give me the Jags.
The Jags.
Anthony Richardson might try to lose this game.
I'm going with AR. Riding with my boy. And a matchup between possibly the most unathletic quarterback in the NFL and then the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. Give me the athlete.
Give me the white couch potato.
Give me the athlete to spread it around and throw it to the white guy, Alec Pierce, and win this game by at least 6 points. The Bills, they must be sitting their starters because they're only favored by 1.5 points going to the Patriots, and I think the Patriots win this game.
I think so, too. I don't think Mitch Trubisky, former MVP, I don't think he can get the job done here.
No, I think Drake May is going to outplay him here. Drake May is going to DeMario Douglas legacy game here. Nah, I just think that Drake May is the last we've seen of Mitch Trubisky is way worse than what we've seen from Drake May. So it really just comes down to that for me. I mean, backups. Patriots been playing with backups all year.
Yeah.
Their backups have been getting first team reps.
and once again, the bad taste in the mouth thing with Drake May. End on a high note.
Yeah, exactly.
And Gerard Mayo is trying to keep his job.
He is.
They really have a lot to play for here.
And it's at home, so the owner is going to be sitting up there in his press box. He doesn't want to look up there and see that face like this.
Yep.
The Giants are going to the Eagles. Eagles also must be sitting their starters because they're only favored by 3.5. Or Vegas is scared of what they saw from Drew Lock.
I'm scared for the Giants of Drew Lock because he's going to continue his tear of this organization, continue to lower their draft pick. They're going to end the season with 5 wins and a lottery draft pick. And they're going to be pissed.
They're going to be it's going to be awful.
But Drew Lock is going to be great.
Yeah, he's going to be
He's
good.
going to continue to feed Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Because he's learned just throw the ball and he'll go get it and make it happen for you. So I think that they beat the Eagles here.
I think the Eagles win here and win kind of soundly because whenever it comes to asshole head coaches, Nick Sirianni is one of the most asshole head coaches. True. And he's petty. He wants to – that's a division rival, and it's another Saquon revenge game. There's reports that, I don't know, should Saquon sit out? I don't know, should he not sit out? It's like, well, he's going for the record, and Nick Sirianni is definitely going to throw him in there because he's like that. But I would kind of want to see Saquon go in there too. And if Saquon is in there, they're going to score an easy 7 points. Saquon Barkley is going to run a whole 101 yards down the field in one drive. Get that record. No, I'm just running it.
Oh, they're going to get a safety.
Yep. And he's going to run it out from there.
Okay.
To get his rushing yards in one drive. But I think
what he's his 102 for the record?
I think it's 101. He must be down by exactly 100 from what I'm seeing. But
he probably will run. He probably will play them.
I think so. At least till he gets his record.
Yeah.
Saints going to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers must not be sitting their starters because they're favored by 13.5, and that's not big enough, is it, Carson?
The Saints are, how do I say it, bad. They're really bad right now.
Especially with
the Bucs are hot, and we just saw that. So, I mean, I got nothing more to say. Saints bad, Bucs good.
Yeah, I want to see Bucky Irving keep running this thing because they do still have something to play for. If they were to lose and the Falcons were to win, Falcons win the division and get into playoffs. Chiefs are going to the Broncos. Chiefs are right now expected to start Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs team here, all 15 and one of them, is way more than just the quarterback. So start Carson Wentz. I'm still betting on the Chiefs because I think it's Andy Reid, it's the defense, it's the run game, it's the easy completions that they scheme up, and I think that they can keep it within 8 points here against the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos favored by 8.5 sounds crazy to me as well because, I mean, Carson Wentz, yeah, he's not a starting caliber quarterback, but he's a pretty damn good backup. He's another ginger backup who can get the job done. There's quite a few of those in the league now that I'm realizing this.
They have their place.
Huh?
They have their place.
Backups?
Uh-huh.
But I think Chiefs, even maybe have a chance at winning this game.
Yeah.
If Bo Nix makes enough mistakes, he's been kind of scattershot at times over the past few weeks. And Chiefs still have Andy Reid a head coach, which matters.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers, favored by 5.5, are going to the Raiders. And we think the Raiders keep it close at least.
Amir Abdullah.
Yeah. Hope he plays.
Yeah, you said in the last episode, Aiden O'Connell is a very solid backup.
Yeah.
And he won't lose you the game, and Chargers are the type of team that don't let you win the game. So the mix of them not letting him win and him not letting them lose, I think he's going to win.
Yeah. Aiden O'Connell, right now, I mean, they want to draft a quarterback. But Aiden O'Connell has been playing well enough to at least make this a quote-unquote competition. And he's obviously going to believe in himself. He wants to make this a competition. So he's going to play his darndest, which is pretty darn mid. But mid might be good enough to keep them in this game.
And I think his focus this game is going to be force Brock Bowers the ball to inflate that rookie receptions record.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing he can do, honestly.
Yeah.
Just force Brock Bowers the ball, and all else will work out.
Because you're on the good side of history there.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter if you win the game. The Seahawks are favored by 2.5 going to the Rams. We both went Rams here.
Yeah, last time they played, the Rams beat them 26-20, and the Rams are pretty much at full health right now. Mm-hmm. And the Seahawks are cold right now. They scored 6 points against the Bears.
Yeah, still somehow won.
Yeah, give me the Rams, especially because they're at home, and they still have playoff hopes. Matt Stafford's trying to wring every last drop out of his career that he can. So he wants to see the playoffs one more time.
He's tired of listening to us talk about old guys.
Yep.
He's got his fake teeth in, though. Sleeping on Tempur-Pedics beside his wife.
Yeah, because when she's happy, he's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I think Rams are just a better team. Even if you sit Matt Stafford, I'm excited by the
Stetson Bennett?
Yeah, a Stetson Bennett sighting.
He's out of AA.
Yeah, good for him. He's now seeing only one receiver at a time.
Yeah. That's
good. But, yeah, I think the Rams are just the better team, better coached all the way up and down is what they're going to do to them. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins, they still have something to play for. They need a win here. Favored by 2.5 going to New York in the MetLife, the Jets. And we went Dolphins.
Yeah, Jets are bad. Jets are just really bad. Aaron Rodgers really has nothing to prove at this point. Like, I mean, yeah, he has to prove that he still can play the game. But I think it's too late, too little. He's got to move on already.
Yep. I agree with you there. I think the Dolphins probably win this game by at least a touchdown. Even if it is Snoop Huntley. Better vibes around Snoop Huntley right now than Aaron Rodgers, which is something that was not on my bingo card going into this year.
Now, if Tyrod Taylor plays, in all seriousness, give me the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Tyrod Taylor, he provided a spark for that offense last week, and I think that these offensive guys will be rejuvenated by a new quarterback in there.
Yeah, somebody who's not bossing them around.
Yeah.
The 49ers, favored by 1.5, are playing in Arizona. These teams are both knocked out of the playoffs, so this is should really just be a good game, honestly.
Yeah, Kyler has no pressure this game, and I think he crumbles under pressure. I mean, after all, he was just a little Yoda boy. So
Yoda boy?
Yeah, he looks like Yoda. He's just a little boy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I think he actually balls out this game because he has nothing to play for. He's just out there having fun, and it looks like he's just always trying to have fun. He's just trying to play backyard football. he's just trying to play backyard football, and I think he can just do it this time because he's free.
I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Brock Purdy he wants to get paid this offseason, and I think this is going to be, as I said, recency bias is a real thing, and I think that if they can somehow stomp the Cardinals, I think that makes Brock Purdy a lot of money. And because Debo's probably going to be gone, but they're probably going to try to get him to light up the stat sheet as well to make him look good to potential buyers. Steelers, please. But yeah, I just think that Brock Purdy lights it up and makes himself some money.
It's probably a good thought.
Brings us down to a great game for the division, the NFC North. For the NFC 1 seed, we got the Vikings are at the Lions, and Lions are favored by 2.5 here. We got a split decision here. Carson, who are you going with?
Give me the Vikings.
Oh.
Last time the Lions only won by 2, and they had their thumper, David Montgomery. They're without their thumper this time. It's just Jahmyr Gibbs. Vikings only got a game plan for one running back. They know what they're going against this time. I think Brian Flores has all this time to game plan for it. He's got to really just, lock down their best guys, and I think he can do that with schemes. I think he can trick Jared Goff with different coverages and blitzes and different things. I think the Vikings can pull out a win here with a hot Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Jared Goff has been really bad under pressure this year. He just doesn't really get under pressure that much because this Lions offensive line is probably top 2, top 3 in the league. And so that does scare me because this Vikings defense is great at generating pressure through blitzes and different schemes that he's throwing at offenses, Brian Flores that is. And but I'm still going with the Lions here. I think that in big moments, in big games, we've come to see this season and like a little bit last season as they were building up this Lions team, come to learn that we can trust the Lions in big games. Now, this is, if you told me about like 2-3 years ago that the best 2 teams in the league would be quarterbacked by Sam Darnold and Jared Goff, that's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
You'd be like, ain't no way.
Yeah, no.
There's no way. But now these guys are playing like 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I just trust the Lions, man. I trust Dan Campbell. He goes for it a lot on 4th down, but it shows his team that he believes in them. Mm-hmm. And that matters. And this is at home. Lions fans, they know the importance of the number 1 seed. They know how long they've been down in the dumps. And they want to see their team have as much of an advantage in this playoff run because they want to win this Super Bowl this year. And they have a very good chance to do so. They just need to get past this game first. And so, yeah, give me the Lions here. You're on the Vikings. That's it for this episode. That's going to be an amazing Sunday night football game, by the way. But for episode 64, that's it. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, feedback that you would like answered on the podcast, please comment down below and reach out to us at our email, laststopsportstalk@gmail.com. Any last thoughts or comments before we get out of here and go watch the Monday Night Football game where I can hopefully bring home a fantasy championship?
No, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, everybody, thank you for listening. We are going to – oh, shit, we forgot to even do intro music. That was dumb on my part.
Oh, wow.
All right, Carson, send us home with the I don't even know, what's it called? The New Year's Eve music?
Lang
Years?
Old Lang Syne.
Is that like Zyne?
Syne, I think. Old Lang Syne.
Okay.
It's like Scottish.
Okay.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and ever brought to thine? Should old acquaintance sins be forgot, and days of old lang syne.
Happy 2025, y'all. Stay safe out there and have a great NFL Week 18.